Well, ladies and gents, that was real bad, wasn't it? So the Marvels flopped spectacularly. It was an 80% drop. 70. So it was originally reported 77.9, but it was 78.1. So yeah, it was 78, 79%. I had initially reported about 79%, if I remember rightly. Not very good. Not very good as a drop-off at all, considering the movie was the worst opening in the MCU ever of all time. And now it has then the worst second week drop-off of all time, 20% higher than normal. Yeah, I think it will struggle to do $100 million domestic. I think is a pretty fair estimate. And then I think also on the back end of that, it will probably struggle. I mean, I've estimated in the title, this will lose somewhere in the region of $300 million. And I don't think that's too much of a stretch.
No, it's not an exaggeration. No.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, jump in with your thoughts. Come on.
No, I'm sorry. You were on a roll, but I don't think 300 million is a stretch of a loss. I mean, the film still, we know for a fact this film will end up costing more than $300 million by the end of, when the budgets all come in next year in Company's House. So I strongly suspect that this thing will lose 300 million. And here's the weird thing, right? That might be the worst catastrophe ever for any Disney thing. And I mean, this is the studio that made John Carter of Mars. Well, I guess they just called it John Carter. But I mean,
don't forget about Indy, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Shoot.
It will rival that, won't it, actually?
Oh, man.
Wow. For its loss.
Indy might be one of the biggest bombs of all time, right next to Miss Marvel. Like, the only thing I think is going to save Miss Marvel's ass is I think it might have cost probably 50 to 100 million less than Indy did.
Whew.
Yeah, you mean the Marvels, but yeah. I know.
What did I say? I don't fucking care.
Miss Marvel, you're
Miss
fine.
Marvel.
Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, the Marvels. It's all bullshit.
All the Marvels. Marvels.
There goes our demonetization.
Oh dear, oh dear. So, yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, this was to be expected. What do you think Marvel's reaction to this will be, though?
They've got to be freaking the hell out because, I mean, look at it this way. When a movie opens as low as the movie did on its opening weekend, a drastic drop-off like this is horrid, right? Like, if a movie opens like crap, there's no room for it to really go down. So, like, sure, if it opens at 30, 40 million and you make 20 to 15 million on your second weekend, generally that's your average because that's the way these movies go. The fact that it dropped that much just tells you how damaged this brand is. It is so badly damaged that this movie was like the worst movie they could have released at this point, right? I mean, it's almost like they said to Bud Light, "Here, hold my beer," right? Like,
well, it's almost as quick a time as Bud Light lost all that money as well.
That's what I mean. Wow. I mean, they've been slowly declining on Marvel, but this was just like a drop off of a cliff, right? Like, you're rolling down a hill, and then all of a sudden there's a steep drop off. That's what this is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to ask, Tom, do you remember offhand how much Morbius made?
Morbius than this.
Hey,
wow.
I think even by its second weekend, I think it had done better than this. Let me look.
Isn't that crazy? Okay, so we're looking at this film, and I'm thinking
it actually grossed 73.9 million in the States and 167.5 million worldwide.
Yeah, I was just seeing that now.
Okay, so this won't come in under Morbius, but it's going to be close.
No, it might do.
It might
come in under Morbius.
Yeah.
Well, no, stateside though. It might actually come in under Morbius stateside.
Oh wow.
Because I mean, think about it.
Honestly, they had very similar opening weekends.
Think about it. The thing about this is that the people that were going to watch it opening weekend have.
Yeah.
The people that sort of drifted into it second weekend, they've done it. So I had an 80%
actually
drop off.
Morbius had a better second weekend.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Because by its second weekend, it had already grossed 50 or
And
60
it got a
million, I think
re-release.
it was.
Remember? It got
Yeah.
re-released as a meme.
Yeah.
It got re-released because of a meme.
It did just a
Morbid
little less
time.
than the Marvels, but still, I think by its second weekend, it had done better at this point.
So this could come in under 250 by the end run.
I'll be surprised if this hits 200 million in its entire run.
It's close.
$200 million? No, it's probably not going to do that.
What?
You don't think so?
No, I don't think it'll do 200 million.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I agree with you. I don't think it's going to hit 200 million. I think it's going to peter out about 180.
No, it already petered out. It's
where is it at right now? It's at 160, ain't it?
Yeah, and it's already floppy petering out. Petering.
Yeah, I mean, 80% drop off second week. I mean, it's done. This is disaster territory. Well, it's disaster territory anyway.
The only thing it has to go for it is that it's Thanksgiving weekend coming up, but it has enough competition that this movie will be lucky to gross $5 to $6 million over the weekend.
Well, what is coming out this weekend now? Because isn't Wish coming out?
You got Wish. You already have Trolls out there. You already have 2 or 3 other movies that are doing much better, like Thanksgiving and Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
What's the other one that's out right now?
Oh, Hunger Games. You forgot
Hunger Games is the other one out right now. So that's going to take whatever audience you might have had for the Marvels is going to go see Hunger Games.
Well, and
I'm not saying Hunger Games is going to do great, but yeah.
But it has better word of mouth than the frigging Marvels.
That's what I mean. And at least it has more date possibility to it. You know what I mean? Like, to get like the date kids out there to go see it, they're going to go see Hunger Games before they go see the Marvels. That's my point. Yeah, and the families are going to go see Trolls before they go see this.
Well, and they're avoiding Wish. Okay, so I know we're going to talk about.
Well, I mean, I think let's stay a little bit more broadly on topic with the Marvels. I mean, people are reporting $270 million. That was before that tax break, wasn't it?
Yeah, but then they had reshoots too. So I mean, at the end of the day. I wouldn't be surprised if they're at least 300 million in.
Yeah, so
I would say it have to be.
As of that September, it was 278.4 million. As of September 2022.
It was what? Sorry, say that again.
278.4 million.
Right.
Over a year ago. And then they had reshoots and all kinds of other hot mess.
Yeah, this movie is losing hundreds of millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions of dollars. When's the call? When's the Disney Bob Iger call?
It just happened.
Did it? Why are we not getting reports of it then?
We did.
We didn't cover it.
Was it that when you were out? No.
I think that was when you were sick.
Yeah.
It was when you were sick.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a big non-burger, nothing burger anyway.
Yeah, the next one's going to be lovely.
Oh, that's going to be they're going to just get
I believe the next one's where they actually have to take calls and stuff. Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, this will likely be the first. Let this sink in, guys. This will likely be the first Marvel movie that doesn't hit $100 million in the States.
Whew.
Since what? Like Blade 3?
I don't know. I mean, that it's just terrible, isn't it?
I predicted this movie would do badly. I didn't predict it doing this badly. This is unprecedented.
Well, no, I did actually. I distinctly remember saying I think it will do an 80% drop off. I'm pretty certain I remember saying that. I could be wrong.
That may be, but what I think culture is saying is I don't think anybody, and I mean anybody, anticipated this movie coming in under $200 million.
Yeah.
Like I think even my estimates were in the 250 range.
Yeah.
300 range. So I mean, this is really bad for Disney, yes.
Yeah, utterly atrocious.
So terrible. But I guess the real question is, and we haven't talked about it yet. What are the ramifications of this kind of colossal failure? What's gonna happen?
Well, we have some of that already. Actually, there are some of the
they're revamping and reshooting everything. Yeah,
it is them just revamping and reshooting everything. I mean, they are very clearly going. They're very clearly going back to the drawing board. But the thing is that culturally, sorry about the name, it doesn't matter because within Marvel, there is a culture of fix it in post.
Yeah.
And so, it doesn't matter how much revamping they do, unless they remove that culture, you're always going to have garbage, right?
Not just that, culturally in general, like culturally, publicly, I think.
Yeah, like
because this one wasn't even that woke, right? I mean, there was hardly any men in it for them to demean them, so there's that aspect and all that kind of business. It's just, I just see zero interest in it. Did I tell you guys the story about when I went to the restaurant 2 weeks ago when the movie was opening and the waitress asked me about the movie? Did I tell you that story? Okay, well, like some people when I go places, they know what I do, so they talk about movies and stuff with me. And the waitress comes up and after she took my order, she just brought drinks and whatever, and she's like, "Yeah, isn't there a new Marvels movie coming out this week?" And I said, "Yeah, Marvels." And she's like, "Yeah, I don't know what it is, but usually my son wants to go see them every time they open up, but he didn't say anything about wanting to see this one." I said, "Oh." I said, "Yeah, I can imagine that." She's like, "Well, what is it?" I said, "It's the Marvels." She's like, "Yeah, but what is it?" I said, "It's just the Marvels, the sequel to Captain Marvel." Right. And she's like, "That's what it's called?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, that's fucking stupid," and walks away. So to her, it's like, this is you might as well call it the McDonald's McDonald. Like that's what she sees it as, like, because it's the Marvels. It's like, so you're calling it the Marvels, right? Like that's the way she sees it. So they've lost the audience at this point. They just don't care, right? I mean, she has zero interest in this, or she would have known something about it. Her kid doesn't even have interest in it anymore. That's the general public at this point. And then the other side of it was when I was driving down to Milwaukee, I was listening to the radio and I couldn't believe it because they were talking just randomly about stuff, and all of a sudden the Marvels come up, and they were talking about the box office, and one DJ asked the other DJ if they had even seen it, and they're like, "No, I don't go see the Marvels movies anymore." And the other one goes, "Yeah, ever since Disney sold their soul to the woke devil, I just can't deal with their shit anymore," basically, in so many words. He's like, it's like, it all depends on what he goes, even no matter what your definition of woke is, he goes, you can't deny that this stuff is just gone. It's bad. Right. So even though the movie isn't that, bad of a film overall, as far as like being woke, but it's tainted. That's the whole thing. Like, no matter what you do now, nobody's going to trust it. Just same thing with Wish, which we'll get to in a few minutes, I think is also going to have a similar issue.
Yeah, exactly. It's brand damage. Oh, this is what happened with DC.
Yeah. Well,
it's the same principle with DC. Brand.
Well, this is why, I kept trying to tell people, with the Snyderverse stuff, they're like, well, we're not in the Snyderverse anymore. It's like, yeah, but the characters are, right? To the general public, that's, as far as they're concerned, it's the same shit.
Well, exactly the same with Star Wars. To move it to something that won't trigger people so much. But it's the same with Star Wars.
This movie opened up in 51 markets, including China.
And also, this weekend just gone, they still had 4,000 theaters showing it.
Ugh.
Let that sink in.
Oh,
it's
man.
insane. It's absolutely insane.
Well,
so there you go, guys. Historic drop, historic opening, historic drop. They're breaking records, but not the ones that they would like.